Let's break down and review The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 2, Episode 2. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe with notifications on so that you're the first to see my videos and you know when I'm live streaming. In this episode, Iris has yet another vision of a walker being a CRM soldier, where it tears its face off and reveals that the real enemy is a CRM. Apart from this time, it wasn't just a dream, it was real life, and she froze up in front of a real walker. It never goes too well for characters when they start freezing in front of walkers, especially one that's been so blinded by her own hatred recently. Then we see Silas for the first time this season, and he wakes up in a car with this new character called Dennis. He drives Silas to this place where they kill walkers. They're like outcasts of the CRM. And we find out that each of these kids have dreams of working at a higher place of the CRM one day, but it just becomes clear that that will likely not happen. They're like the janitors of the apocalypse, and it doesn't seem like anytime soon they're going to be soldiers or living luxury. When Dennis goes back into his car, he pulls out a picture of him and Huck. So he was with Huck and he's been outcast and not allowed to see her. So that's a big thing with his story. Huck's ex-boyfriend is stuck doing pretty much endless work. In season 1, when Barker went to go and speak with Elizabeth and showed doubt in what the CRM were doing, she almost ranked him down levels in the CRM to do maintenance work. This is likely similar to what Barker is doing right now, but even that wouldn't have been this low down. This seems like, with the kids' ambitions of wanting to be a soldier for the CRM, that it's just not going to happen for them. It's like they're being made to do this just to pass time, to make them feel like what they're doing has any purpose.
I turned on stoned? Get out of here with that shit.
TCFT. Too clever for Tegan.
An 80-year-old wrote this thinking that this is how kids talk, and that is funny. There's a scene in this episode where Iris and Hope's dad, Leo, is talking with Elizabeth about what's going on, and Elizabeth is so much better in this episode. I don't know what it was. In the first episode, it's like she had a mental breakdown, but this scene, she was witty and I liked it.
Nothing's more important to me than my family.
But you left them, didn't you?
Hope walks through this reception part of the CRM here, and you literally wouldn't know this was the apocalypse at all. It was a great example of just a small portion of the CRM and how normal these people have got it. I mean, it was just literally like any popular city you go to now. It also made me uncomfortable because I don't go out like that. Hope is sitting down writing notes of stuff that she's seen in the CRM, and character Lila Belshaw comes along. Now, Lila Belshaw is a character that her dad, Leo, is in a relationship with, and so she kind of puts on this act in front of Hope, and we hear a lot more of the CRM's aim, or at least her parts of the CRM's aim, as to why they want a cure, because obviously, I think the most common thing to think of when you hear a cure in The Walking Dead now, after 10 years in the universe, is that it's pretty pointless, and yeah, this individual, I think most people of the CRM haven't been out into the real world in the apocalypse to experience it, to know that the cure, or a cure, wouldn't be the answer to it at all. And obviously where the CRM is corrupt isn't in trying to fix the war, because that in itself is a pretty cool, helpful, good thing to do. But it's the fact that they're killing people, they're harming people, a lot of people, to get to that objective. That's what makes the CRM bad.
Need some help? Yeah.
I hope he dies. Honestly, this Walmart Tommy in it. I like World Beyond and I really want to love it, but I swear all these new characters they introduce have all the screen presence of a fucking bin.
Right, yeah, no, I must have known and forgot that I knew, because that is definitely not a fake thing that you are making up right now.
I want to live in a furnace. No, but Hope is about to enter this door that says military personnel only, and before she does it, this kid around the same age as her comes along, called Mason, and straight away this creates this friendly barrier between her and her quite sinister suspicions of the CRM. He opens the door for her and it's just this storage room, so it instantly diffuses her suspicions and puts her on this really friendly, comfortable level, and that's going to be a common theme when it comes to Hope at the CRM, whilst Felix, Iris and Will are going to be experiencing some quite heavy sides to it. Hope is pretty much in the middle of being brainwashed, and I think very soon she's going to be completely on board with the CRM, completely conflicting with her sister's beliefs that the CRM are the real enemy. I mean, everything about this character was suspicious, of course, because he was way too nice and he knew everything about Hope already. Obviously, that's going to be a common thing with the CRM. Everyone knows who she is because she's the girl that was given this special mission. She's an outsider. But I don't really care too much for the awkward high school wit scenes and the love interest teen bullshit. So I don't care what this Mason character does. He's of no interest to me. He's got all the importance of one of the conkers that just fell down out of the trees outside. Then we see Felix trying to be like Rick.
Is she still on assignment?
Then Lila shows Hope one of her dad's tapes where he fully explains in detail what he can do and what he plans to do to a walker. He basically reveals that using a device that he's made, he can monitor biological changes and movements in a walker's brain. Now, he doesn't just reveal the method that he plans to use in the future on walkers to actually accelerate their level of decay and manipulate them. He actually speaks of the changes that they've monitored and noticed whilst doing this experiment, such as small variations in brain chemistry, which not only suggests the moving around of the virus in the victim's brain, but echoes of who they were before. He even says variations in speed, implying pursuit behaviours. And with all of this data that he's collected, this is what he's doing about it.
Infecting the dead with strains of fungi that grow on necrotic flesh is conceivable. If we can modify an existing fungus, then we can one day accelerate the dead's rate of decay, virtually neutralizing them as an active, mobile threat.
If he's monitoring the speed and behaviour of a walker and then does something to an existing fungi and puts it in its brainstem, you're asking for some Days Gone shit. So it's interfering with how the virus works in a walker's brain. But I think it sounds actually just really stupid, and to me I think it can go either one or two ways. One, they completely fail, or it does work and instead of accelerating the rate of decay, it just accelerates the rate of how the virus works in the brain. So the brain chemistry will start accelerating rather than the rate of decay, which means a walker could start to feel things or remember things from before they turned. Or it changes in behaviour or speed. Now, fast walkers aren't as unlikely as you think, as following this universe's logic in the writing, there's actually already been slightly faster walkers. Now, if in World Beyond something happens with their experiments in the CRM and they make a walker move faster, it doesn't mean that by the press of a button they're all going to turn to 28 days later. That's completely different. I mean, that was the rage virus, it's in the name. The rage virus turned people into raging monsters. That's not what walkers are. Walkers are just the virus controlling a body. Once it identifies something that it can eat, it will go and do it. Now, don't tell me when you saw this doctor at the CRM talk about putting fungi into Walker's brainstem that you didn't think it could go really, really wrong.
Despite some glitches we're still working out.
I think it can go one or two ways. Like I said, he completely fails. They just don't get this experiment done, or they succeed in doing it and it seems okay, but it doesn't work as he anticipated it does. And I think it's bound to go wrong. But what do you think? What do you think the end result of Leo's experiments are? Does he manage to find some kind of cure? Does he alter any walkers? Or do the CRM just kill him before he gets to make any more progress? And what did you think of this episode as a whole? Did you enjoy it? Do you think it was better than the first one? Make sure you comment down below and let me know your thoughts and what you thought of this episode. If you enjoyed it, then make sure you press the like button. It actually really helps me out and will get this video seen by more people. Check out my video on Season 11, Episode 8, the finale of Part 1 of Season 11. I talk more about what happens after Leo fires these arrows off, which character could die from that, and what this scene was all about with Rosita. And watch my video I made on the new Rick Grimes Fortnite skin.